Hello everybody, I haven't did a video in a long time. Like I said, I gave a preview or something to tell you that I was going to make this video on being a vegan, on why and how. It's supposed to be 3 days, I know it's like 4 days. I mean, because I'm working so much, and I didn't want to do it at night, but it looks like I'm going to have to do it at night. And I'm gonna do it in different parts because of my time that I have. I don't have as much time as I thought I would have. Um, why I became vegan. I have to start with why. I was working in a restaurant and I went to school late in life. I mean, I got my bachelor's degree when I was in my, I'm not gonna say my age. Everybody already knows I'm old anyway, but I don't want to say my age. But anyway, I got my bachelor's degree in later on in life, and I was getting my bachelor's degree the last year. I was a senior, and in college, and I wanted to study for my LSAT. The LSAT is a law exam that you have to take, an entrance exam to get into law school. That was one of the reasons, because I was studying all the time, and I noticed that when I took a break and got something to eat, I would um, I would want to relax after I ate like a hamburger or something with meat in it, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't think about being a vegan. I didn't think about being a vegetarian or anything like that. But what happened was, um, I was at work and I decided to, I gotta figure out, I mean, there was something that really struck me as far as being, I mean, changing my diet or something. Another thing, I think it was more than one thing. I knew I couldn't concentrate after I ate. It was hard for me to study after I ate. Okay, before I was a vegan, because I would want to relax. That was one thing. Another thing is I was constipated. I would eat things that would make me constipated, like cheese doodles. It was this orange things. I know everybody knows them, but I would eat them and I would eat them and I would eat them too much. I was junk food. I ate a lot of junk food, which would make me constipated. I eat a lot of ice cream, and I noticed that, my stomach didn't feel like, it just didn't feel right. I mean, because of my diet. And I was eating things like hot dogs and pork and beans. Sometimes I would eat chicken, and at work I would get a hamburger, a big hamburger and French fries. But I think I wanted to lose weight also because I was gaining weight. But I think it was more than one thing. I didn't think about being vegan because or being a vegetarian because I didn't like it. I mean, there was somebody vegetarian at my job, and it was like very just strange. I thought it was gross. I don't know why I thought it was gross, but I thought it was gross. But anyway, I decided a lot of things. I decided to not eat meat. That was the first thing, and I started getting salads, and I would eat French fries, salads, and I think, I don't know, mayonnaise. I think I would eat eggs, but I wouldn't eat. I tried not to eat any meat. So I was basically wanting to be a vegetarian. So sometimes I would eat meat, and I noticed because I was doing a vegetarian, and then all of a sudden I ate meat again, and I noticed that when I ate meat, I wouldn't feel my stomach. But I noticed when I ate like, not meat, when I didn't eat meat, I noticed that I felt my stomach. And I said, that's strange. Another thing, too, is my studying. When I didn't eat meat, I noticed that I could continually study. And because of the benefits, like right after I decided not to eat meat, I decided to become a vegetarian. But I'm sure it was other reasons. It was more than one reason. Okay. So all those things came together. And I basically became a vegetarian first. I remember I would get salads, but I liked a lot of sauce, okay? And, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I said to myself, well, I have to get a book. So I went to the bookstore, and this was in Denver, I might as well say that. I don't live in Denver now, but this was in Denver. And I went to this bookstore, and I was looking for a book about vegetarians, something that I could use on how to make food and things like that. It wasn't so much because I wanted to learn how to be a vegetarian, or it definitely wasn't vegan. I don't think I was thinking about vegan at that time. And so anyway, I found this book. It was Julianne Haver, and it's this whole food plant-based. And it sounded pretty good. The thing I liked about it was because she was a nutritionist. I mean, somebody who actually studied about food and the right proper things to eat. And I thought that was very important. Not that it was just a diet that she wanted to sell books, but when you go to school and you learn something, you take your time to learn something, it's very important because you learn from other people. You're not just learning, putting your ideas. You have an interest and you learn from other people. And then you learn from other people and make things your own. So I decided, to read her book since, she went through the trouble of learning about nutrition. And I started liking her book. And I read everything about her book. I didn't read every chapter, but I was serious about the first, I think, 4 or 5 chapters. And because I was studying at school, because it was my last year before I was getting my bachelor's degree. And then I had decided that I wanted to be a lawyer, going to law school right afterwards. So I was studying a lot. Then I was studying her book. And it was so good. And I remember I would stay up at night reading her book and learning about the different things that you had to do in order to be a vegan. She didn't say vegan, whole food, plant-based. That also made a lot of sense to me. And you had to learn about the proteins, and which I'm going to get into later. But now I'm just telling you the reason why. And I liked everything that was written. I mean, I'm not saying so much about her book. I'm just saying about nutrition, okay? And I remember reading a book, and she says some things about some kind of vitamin or whatever. Not vitamin, something in food. And then she just said, just don't eat meat. Just don't eat any meat, So I said, yeah, I mean, it was something that I felt that I wanted to do. So I didn't, so it was easy for me to go from vegetarian. I wasn't vegetarian that long, maybe about a month, to vegan because I never liked milk, and I never liked milk, and I never liked cheese. So, I mean, the only thing I had to do was cut eggs. So it was easier for me to get whole food plant-based. So I started eating whole food plant-based. And I would go to the store, actually cut my groceries in half because meat was so expensive. Meat is actually expensive. I don't know why people think that going whole food plant-based is expensive, but it's not as expensive as eating meat. So I think I'm going to hold it right there because I want to do this in sections because I don't have as much time. But the main gist of the reason is that the reason why was because, like I said, the way I ate in my life, I would get constipated because I would eat the wrong things all the time. I was a junk food junkie. I mean, I would eat potato chips. I would eat hot dogs and wieners, things that weren't really good for me. Hamburgers. I mean, really big hamburgers. I didn't like cheese, but I would like some cheese on my hamburger on my hamburger, and it was a real big hamburger, which was a lot of calories, and it had so much calories that the only thing else I ate was French fries, which just eating those two things without any vegetables or fruit wasn't good. And like I said, my stomach will feel tight, and I noticed that when I didn't eat meat, I could feel my stomach. So that's the reason why. Those are the, oh, and I was studying. When I studied, um, when I studied, when I was eating meat, I had to relax. When I studied being a vegan, when I was not eating meat, I could continually study after I ate. So that's the gist of the reason why I became vegan. And I'm going to go through this topic because I think it's very good. And that's it for now because I don't have that much time. I have to do this at night. And I hope you follow this one because it's very important and it may help a lot of people. And I think YouTube, and I'm glad I'm back into talking about something. And so I'm still going to talk about a different second, a little bit more reason why and how I became whole food plant-based or vegan. Thank you very much.